artists. Today we're going to start an exciting new art project that's going to take us 3 art classes. We're going to make a picture of a still life with sunflowers. What's a still life? I'm glad you guys asked. A still life is a picture that artists create of the things that they see in front of them. So if you draw something and it's in front of you and it's still life. Artists love making pictures of flowers, and some artists, like Vincent van Gogh, love making pictures of sunflowers. Vincent van Gogh made many different pictures of sunflowers, and we're going to kind of use his style as inspiration for our project today. We're going to be drawing a vase and putting sunflowers inside of it. Today, we're going to have a pencil drawing day. Next time, we're going to outline, and we're going to add some other details as well. And we're also going to learn some information about Vincent van Gogh. He's a very interesting guy. Then on the third day, that means the last day, we're going to add some color. I'm going to show you the pencil part right now. You feel free to draw along with me. We're going to have a lot of fun. Here we go. To begin your still life with sunflower picture, you're going to need a white piece of paper and a pencil. To start this project, begin with the vase first. Vases come in all different shapes and sizes. Vincent van Gogh's vase looks a little bit like this one, but you can draw a vase like this. It can look like this. It can be a rectangle shape. It's up to you what your vase looks like. You are the artist. When I draw a vase for my Van Gogh inspired still life, I like to make sure that my vase is at the bottom of the page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the one that he kind of used in his still life picture. I'm going to draw a curved line on one side, curved line on the other side. It's okay if it's not perfect. And I'm going to put a curved line at the bottom. Not a straight line at the bottom, but a curved line so that it looks a little bit three-dimensional. You can definitely try that to make yours kind of come a little bit more to life. Now, I'm actually going to leave the top part open on purpose. Why do you think I would leave the top part open on purpose for now? That's right. I want to leave myself enough room for the sunflowers to go inside the vase. I'm going to do some overlapping. That's when you put one thing on top of something else. Now, when you start the sunflowers after the vase, begin with the center of the flower first. What shapes do you think you should use for the center of a sunflower? Yup, either a circle shape or an oval shape. Most sunflowers have a circle shape in the center. If you have a sunflower that's like kind of to the side or something, it does look a little bit ovally. So what I want you to do is draw a couple of circles and ovals for yourself on your paper. And if you notice, I'm leaving a little bit of room. I'm not putting them too close together. The reason for that is because I want to make sure that I have enough room for the petals. I would say start with maybe 5 ovals and circles first. Try to make them kind of big. Okay, so right now it looks kind of weird. Ovals, circles, some unfinished lines. What I'm going to do next to make these look a little bit more like sunflowers is I'm going to add petals. Now, Vincent van Gogh has 2 different varieties of sunflowers that he created in his pictures. Some of his sunflowers you can see the individual petals. Some of them you can't. You just see the basic shape. So I'm going to show you how to do both ways today. To do the ones where it's just the basic shape, what you're going to do is you're going to draw a bumpy line around your center. So I'm not making a straight line. I'm not really even making a wavy line. I'm kind of making a bumpy line. Do the best you can with it. And it does look really good if you put some bumps in the middle. So it almost reminds me of like a lion's mane, or when you're drawing a sheep with wool, something like that. You're just kind of giving it like a puffy texture. Now, sunflowers, some of the varieties do have a second ring inside the middle part. You can add that in just to give it a little bit more detail. Now, this is like, we'll call this like the puffball sunflower. If you want to draw one that's not a puffball sunflower, one with individual petals, what you can do is you can draw petals around your center. I'm going to make kind of like an oval shape or a half oval shape that kind of comes to a point. It's up to you what shape your sunflower petals are. There's a lot of different varieties of sunflowers. Some petals are long, some are short. Something you can do as a detail if you want to is you can add V shapes or lines where the petal meets the center, just to give it a little bit more fragility, like it looks very delicate, and just a little bit more design. And again, with design, feel free to add more lines in the center of your sunflower to kind of give it another dimension or another layer. Now, it's up to you which ones are the puffball version of the sunflowers and which ones are the petal version, but you guys are going to have to be problem solvers. I have a little problem already with this sunflower over here. I don't really have enough room to do petals for this guy because these petals are in the way. So, what should I do to solve the problem? You should definitely do some overlapping. If I want to make petals right over here, I'm going to have to draw them behind the sunflower, which is really difficult to do. So do the best you can. Try to make it look like some sunflowers are in front and some are behind. I can do the same thing over here, and I'm going to have to do some overlapping here, but I kind of like it when I have a variety of the puffball ones and the petal ones. So I'm going to do kind of like a big puffball in the background here. Now, after you have your first couple of sunflowers laid out, see if you would like to add any more sunflowers in your picture. I think it would look really nice on mine if I were to add one over here. I have like a big empty spot, so maybe I'll do kind of like a little guy over there, and maybe I'll make this one be a puffy one too, just to have a little bit of variety. If you want to challenge yourself today, feel free to make some sunflowers that are kind of like wilting a little bit, like they've been in the vase for too long. If you'd like to make some look like they're kind of falling over, my trick for that is I like to figure out where I want my fall over place to be. Like maybe I want the sunflower to be falling over here. I'm going to make a curved line, and I'm going to draw the petals by that curved line. I'm going to draw some more petals. And then I'm going to do a second layer, so it kind of looks like the sunflower is like off to the side, okay? Maybe I want to do the same thing over here. Maybe there's one in front of the vase. I'm going to draw a curved line, and I'm going to draw those petals in. I'm going to add another layer behind there. This is tricky. Do your best. All right, so now I've got some floating petals. I've got some floating flowers. I have to kind of bring it all together. So I'm going to do that by adding some stems. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close off my vase. So like I'm done. I don't want to add more flowers. I'm going to close off my vase. Did I have to do that here? No, because I did too much overlapping. But if you need to close off your vase like I did here, it's a great idea. Feel free to do that. And sunflowers have really thick stems. So draw yourself some thick stems down from the flower into the vase, and the stems can be curved, they can be straight. Some of them might not even need a stem if it's overlapped so much that you can't even see it. So do the best you can with what you are working with. Now the wilted ones, you have to get a little bit creative with those. I'm going to kind of draw a little like shape over here, And I'm gonna make that go into the vase like it's curved down. And I do have to do some erasing because I don't want that part in the way. Feel free to have an eraser handy if you need to change anything up. And I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I'm gonna connect this guy into the vase so you get some water. All right. Now check out your empty space. Sunflowers do have leaves, and it would look really great if you were to add some leaves in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at my empty spaces. Like I have a big empty space over here. I can kind of fill that in with a leaf. I'm gonna draw like a nice curvy leaf right underneath my sunflower. I'll give it some veins. I can give maybe this sunflower over here a little leaf just to fill in some of that space. And this sunflower would benefit from a leaf. Do you have to do a million leaves? No way, but you can do a couple leaves just so that it'll kind of take up more space and make your picture look a little bit more realistic. All right, looking good so far. I'm pretty happy with this. Now, the last thing I want you to do today is add a table line. Should I put the line all the way through the vase? No, the vase is not see-through. So I'm going to put a line on one side of the vase and a line on the other side so it looks like it's on a table, just like what Vincent van Gogh did. And Vincent van Gogh did something very interesting in his picture. Usually artists sign their names in the corner. Vincent van Gogh decided to sign his name directly on the flower pot, directly on the vase. So if you would like to do that too, feel free to do that if you want to kind of make yours look a little bit more like Vincent's. I just did a curved line to make my vase look a little bit curved, and it'll give me a place to write my name. You can write your name in print, which means just regular. Or if you want to get a little fancy, feel free to write your name in script or cursive. It's really up to you. Next time, we will do the Sharpie part, and we're going to learn a little bit more about Vincent van Gogh. Today, focus on the pencil part. Yours does not have to look anything like mine. If there's another way that you prefer to do your petals, go for it, do it your way. I can't wait to see what you come up with. I hope you have so much fun. Do your best.